Okay, I am back. Now we're gonna get into the mukbang portion of the live stream. I assume Zombie Dog's cookies are all bought out. Did we fill Zombie Dog's animal cracker cookie quota? Those cookies are out of stock. All right, lucky you, Zombie Dog. Alligator for Zombie Dog. And for Vormithrax, Vormithrax is not having cookies this evening. Vormithrax is going to eat another muffin. Yummy blueberry muffin. So, I was thinking about this while I was gone. I need to look at the stats in the bat real quick. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I was hoping it had some kind of knockdown or stun technique. I was hoping right here we had something more than just block ability. I was vaguely thinking about giving it a go. I mean, we got a good to hit bonus. We're not going to have a problem swinging and hitting, probably. But it's going to take me a number of whacks to try to knock this tough down. I just don't think it's going to happen. Here's my stats. We're only sitting at melee 1, which is why I was like, no, not a good situation. Alright, what's up for you now, Zombie Dog? It is a koala bear. Koala bears for zombie dogs. So yeah, already grabbed, low strength, low skill, poor weapon. And what I anticipate happening if I try to go melee, and it's probably going to happen when I fire too, is that I kill him, one of these guys steps into the space. So I haven't managed to move anywhere, and I'm going to have to kill the next one, and then the third one's going to step into the space. The entire time, other zombies are coming this direction, possibly. If I don't get the gun out, and I can survive these three, we might get out of here. But as soon as I get the gun out, all bets are off. I gotta immediately vacate. And I've got to do it without having my legs damaged down to 7 or below, as we discovered in Monday's stream. So, yeah, I don't want to have a repeat of that that odyssey we went through on Monday. Good muffin. So, the choices are, start swinging. Absolutely nothing I can do to change the effects here. I have no activatable items, gear, mutations, CBMs, nothing that's going to affect things here. I'm not overweight, stamina's fine. But the grab is dropping my speed. I'm going to swing slower than this tough does because of the grab. Ugh. If I wasn't so low hit points, this would be a no-brainer and this would be simple. Well, if I'm going to switch weapons, I'm going for the gun. I can drop the bat with no cost. It's in my hands, you can just instantly drop it. There's no action point cost just to let your hands go and drop your weapon. So that's free. But wielding the Scar or the Katana is going to take at least probably 2 rounds, if not 3, by which time I could be dead. That's my issue. We have a combination of very low hit points and pretty much no armor. I mean, I'm just wearing some army gear and a fencing jacket. So we got a little bit of protection, but it's gonna get hits through no matter what. Depends on where they land also. I mean, we could get lucky and he spreads the damage. We could get hit in the torso once, the left arm once, but if he concentrates it, we're just going to go down pretty quick. Now the katana, yes, the katana is way better. 31 cut. It's only +1 to hit, but it's not usually hard to hit tough zombies. And we get rapid strike and the high blocking ability. So the katana is superior. It's just a matter of, is it superior enough to warrant swapping to? And the couple of free rounds I'm going to give the tough zombie. So, for anybody wondering, this is the part of the game I really enjoy. I really like these kinds of situations where I agonize over the minutia that may or may not save my life. Death by crate drag. That's what this one's going to be. Alright, Zombie Dog. Final cookie for the evening. What is it? The hell is that? It's a headless otter. Headless otter for Zombie Dogs. Alright, that's it for you, buddy. You're all done. No, you can't have any muffin. No muffin for you. Alright, be just a few more bites of my muffin here and we'll get things rolling. So what do you guys think? Switch to katana? Switch to gun? Or just start swinging the bat? That's pretty much the three choices. There's nothing else really I can do. I could swing at a crate. The problem being, I think that would just immediately have two guys adjacent to me instead of one. Now, it's possible they're going to break the crate on their own and make it bad. Another option would be break the table or the shelf behind me and then try to back up a space to break the grab. It's about the only other option I can think of that wouldn't just immediately get two guys next to me. Yeah, that zombie could go north onto the table. It's very likely that he will. I'll probably end up with two guys on me no matter what. Unfortunately, I left my Gorman solution behind. I didn't bring my Gorman solution. No grenade. I've been carrying it for a while, but we're so starved for carry capacity. When I go on my looting runs, I've been leaving it. So, I can't pull a Gorman. Sorry. Well, Gorman always was an asshole, so he forgot to bring his grenade. Alright, mukbang is just about over. Okay, all the cookies and muffins are all finished up. It's time to commit to it. Commit to a plan. The other option is go for the gun, of course. Switch it to full auto. Try to blast the tough, and then pray that I can maneuver my way between these guys. Problem being, as soon as more than one guy's adjacent to me, my ability to even blind fire or hip fire is going to go down quite a bit. I think I'm going to go with the gun. I think I've decided the gun is the best option. We'll drop the bat for free, go for the gun, and if we're still up and alive when we got that done, we're going to try to immediately burst fire the tough. Hopefully, I think what's going to happen is I'll drop the bat, I'll say wield gun, that guy's going to step up, He's going to hit me. Dog's going to do whatever dog's going to do. With two guys adjacent to me, it's going to be really hard to get a shot off with any kind of real aiming, because I'll be counting against two different timers before somebody interrupts me. And as soon as I start shooting, like I said, all bets are off. It's either clear a path immediately or we're just going to get piled. Yeah, I think that's it. Unless somebody's got some better idea. I think it's... In my estimation, I think it's about a 60-40 split of advantage between gun versus melee. I think it's 60% gun, 40% melee. Quick save for science and test the katana after we die. I can do that if you'd like, if you're really curious, but I mean, random is random. There's no saying that just because I die the first attempt and we win the second attempt that it would have come out the same. But we can try it. So we'll quick save right here. If we die, I've got the option turned on that we can Alt F4 and reload without any problem. Alright, map is saved. Alright, here we go. Drop the bat. That's a free action. Go for the gun, and let's see what happens. It's, yeah, 195. That's more than 2 rounds because I'm grabbed. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. I hope we do some dodgy dodge. What is my dodgy dodge? 0, most likely, because we got no skill and we're 1.2. There's a small chance we might do some dodgy dodge. Even grabbed with low skill. Alright. For those not aware, it's not breaking a grab is not just a strength test. It uses the higher of strength or dex. So I've actually got an 11, which is an okay number. Theoretically, I might be able to back up a space. It's 150, I think. No, it's 200 to move on to a counter. So I mean, in the space of time it takes me to move here, I can get the gun equipped. So I'm gonna stay right where I'm at. I can either back up a space onto the counter for 200, or I can equip a Scar H for 195. Backing up, I don't think is going to gain me anything. I'm still going to have 2 guys on me, so nothing will have really changed to my advantage. Possibly break the grab, but if I fail, I just take another round of damage. So I'm just adding another random. So, we're going for the Scar. You know why? You know why? Because I have spoken. What? Okay. We took a hit. Somehow the zombie dog decided he really, really wanted a piece of me, so he apparently... Wait a minute, look at these messages. So he tries... Let me see. Zombie tries to grab you as well. You beat it... Where did the... No, that's where my save occurred right there. So he hit my left leg. Hit my torso, got protected. Bites my arm, protected. Tramples the zombie dog. And then the zombie dog took its swings. Well, that's nice of them. So he got a few swings, and then he got to swap places, and the zombie dog got a bite in? Huh. Feels like I'm playing Unity of Command, where you do one of your guys does his action, then he moves away, and another guy moves into the space and does his action and moves away, and then another guy moves into the space. Alright. Yeah, leg is at 10. The other leg. 3 points away from hobbling. So, still only got 1 adjacent, but we're going to have the same problem. Let's get rid of zombie dog. Don't need zombie dog action anymore. How do you get the health numbers? You have to have the self-aware trait. So So I have the self-aware trait right here. Lets you see your exact amount of hit points and health. Instead of only having a vague idea. So in addition to knowing your hit points, you can also activate it as a mutation, and it'll tell you what your hidden health stat is. So I am at 10, which is anything from like -10 to 10 is pretty much neutral. So yeah, the grab is gone. Oh, let's see. What to do? I still got the problem where if I kill the dog, one of these is going to immediately step into the space. And I only need a single shot on the dog. I just need it to be not a graze. So if I try to shoot right now, if I just hip fire with no other aiming or time taken, we're at a 23% hit chance. If I get a graze, he might actually survive the hit. He's lightly injured. Maybe he won't with the lightly injured portion. Actually, how are these guys? Are any of them damaged? Lightly damaged. The tough one is the only one full strength. Alright. Well, that's what I'm debating. I'm debating leaving the dog and trying to shoot the tough. Even if I only get... There's only one thing on me, so I can get a few points of aiming in. I definitely can't afford a full precise aim. Can't let 3.5, 4 rounds go by without taking a shot. But that is what I'm debating. Now I'm debating which of these to go after. Because it's 105 moves to fire even if I just hip fire and take the 23% chance. I've only got speed of 103, so it's greater than a full round of movement. So I might kill the dog, but it's going to leave a turn where either of these guys can then step into the space. So I got to be careful with burst fire. I don't like to burst fire except for things directly adjacent to me because I'm a low strength character and the recommended strength for burst is 11 with this particular weapon. So my already bad chances to hit with low aiming is going to be really, really bad because I don't have the strength to adequately control the weapon. So I think the bullets would just spray all over and would likely not hit this guy. So I prefer not to use the burst mode unless he's directly adjacent to me. So... I think I'm just going to start shooting. I think I'm just going to single shot the dog. If they give me an opportunity to move, I'm going to move down a space and then hope for no grab and then run out the door if my legs aren't completely borked. If I shoot the dog and somebody moves in, I'm going to shoot the next one, and then try to run away before we get a mob on us. But we're going to have to get some lucky rolls here. And hope I pick the right number of aimings before pulling the trigger. So, we're in semi-auto mode, single shot. 23%. How many times should I aim? I hesitate to do more than 3 or 4. 1, 2... Yeah, we're attacked. Damn it! Reset. 1, 2... Now we've got a fresh start. 3, 4... I think 5 is as far as I'll go. That gets us to 51% with a 12% graze chance. And still it's going to take another 105 action points. Oh yeah, there's lots of ways to reduce the number of enemies in the game. Well, not lots of different ways, but there are definitely ways when you do your world setup. 1.0 is the default density. I play with double zombies myself, 2.0. But all you need to do is adjust the spawn rate, set it to like 0.5 or 0.25 or whatever you'd like. I'm going to aim one more time. Alright. 43, 53, 57. One more. That didn't help much. 62. 68. Alright, let's take the shot. Oh, Yes! Yes! This is the perfect result. Now I just gotta pray they don't get a grab. No grab, and we're out of here. Oh man, go to run mode. Just do not grab me. It's all I ask. And if you do grab me, don't hit me in the leg. Let's find out. Ah, grab me! God damn it. At least it's the standard zombie so far, not the tough. Please break the grab. Please break the grab. We broke it! Now we got one more chance to get grabbed, and we're out of here. Took a hit, but we're not grabbed. We're out! Victory! No science necessary. Oh, good old leg down to 6. Here we go again. All right, how much did it put on me? Back to normal mode. 125. That's not as bad as 170. We survived it at 170 previously. So, while we're not home free yet, and I got to clear the area from the gunshot, I got enough stamina. I think I can get to a clear spot. But man, it's going to be an ugly walk home. I got no houses nearby for easy cover. Nothing explored, or not much explored. They're going to follow my scent trail. Alright, we got to keep walking initially. I'm going to use this fence line. You can see these guys were also coming up to join the party. So yeah, it would have been really bad if I had spent any time trying to melee inside that place. Alright, looks like they got distracted. They're not coming after me. Alright, perfect. We have successfully escaped. Alright, now let's throw a bandage. Let's see, we've got... Left leg needs the help. I've got right. Takes time to do this. We should be okay. Alright, we're not going to get any quick benefit here. But maybe we'll get lucky and get a good heal roll that'll get us up to 8 and get rid of that move cost. So what we're talking about here is... I've known about this and I ranted about it on a previous broadcast, but I had forgotten. Is that your hit points, for your legs specifically, they've added in this sequence where... If you go below a certain percentage, and in this example, with 20 as my max, as soon as my leg hits 7 health, I get hit with a really big negative to my base move cost for each leg. And we had, I think it was 6 and 5 on our legs on Monday, and our base move cost was 170 instead of 100 or 110, whatever the normal is. And it's a sheer cliff. It's not... Your legs start to take damage, you get a little bit slower, you get a little bit slower, you get a little bit slower. It's you're perfectly fine, you're perfectly fine, you're perfectly fine. Take one more hit point, oh my god, you can't move. Every single thing in the game is faster than you now. That's the part I don't like. I don't like that there's just a massive cliff at beyond which dragons be. And you all of a sudden just can't move for nothing. And even crawling zombies can go faster than you. That's the part I don't like. Alright, we're not home free yet. We got a long way to go at slow movement rate now. But, long as I can hopefully stay away from fast movers, we should be okay. I'd like to stay in the middle of the road. Gives me the most view and movement options. But, our trip is definitely done at this point. It's just get home alive. That'll be the second time this evening we've had a super close call. Worked out just like I hoped, though. I was sure... The only part I got confused by was the flip-flop of the dog and the tough. That was weird. That was to my advantage because it broke the grab. I still don't know exactly how that happened, other than the push-through process zombies have. But for them to flip-flop like that was weird. And then we managed to get 6 aim pulses on shooting the dog, and nothing stepped into the space, which is the only thing that allowed us to do that. I got one more grab, but we were able to break the grab of the lower level less strong zombie, the regular zombie, and then keep on pushing. Actually, we should take, let's take a tramadol. I want to get that pain down as fast as I can. I need every... I see our movement cost is coming down again. So we should be okay now. We're down to about even with some of the zombies, which is plenty for me usually to be able to maneuver around them as long as I'm somewhat careful and as long as we don't get unlucky with a predator. We've seen some upgradeds. Oh, that's, do I want to pop in there and take a look? I kind of do. Got any drugs for me? What you got? Adderall and aspirin. Alright. Alright, we're just going to go right down the middle of the road if they'll let me. I especially want to get back to an area with houses. Houses give me cover that I can dive in and out of. This commercial district stuff is a little rough. Chain link fences, as I demonstrated earlier, are awesome. Love me the chain link fences. That's a SWAT truck. That's a SWAT truck. Have I not been in that SWAT truck? Front door's open. Did I open that? I think I did not. H&K 417 A2 plus 1 with 10 out of 20 rounds, firing 308, which is the same rounds I'm already firing. 60 range. It's got an integrated it's got an adjustable stock mod. I'm still really bothered by the fact that I can't use page up, page down on this screen anymore. Somebody fix that, damn it. Tired of complaining about it. Because I can't see the rest of the info without picking the damn thing up. I think I don't really... 10 pounds. I can't afford to pick this thing up. It's just a variant on the rounds I'm already firing. It might be better in a few minor ways, but not enough for me to warrant putting myself at risk with such low hit points currently. So we'll leave it here. Kind of surprised I hadn't seen it and visited it before, though. All right, keep going south. Now we're back. Oh, cockroaches! No! No, stay away from me, cockroaches. We can deal with zombies. I don't want to deal with cockroaches. Ah, necromancer again. Necromancer and cockroaches. Oh, crap. I got cockroaches, we got necromancers, we've got runners, we've got dogs. It's starting to get a little ugly again. We're getting pretty close to back to where my home was. I wonder if I'll have to go through the survivor house. Really trying to avoid anything catching my scent or my trail here. Alright, don't block me into a narrow alleyway, please. That was the welding basement right there. Alright, I think we're okay now. Ouchie! Damn cockroaches. So there we go, survived another one. Yay! I get most anxious about deaths when I'm playing these really hard setups. Where just little tiny pieces of rotten luck or mistakes will just unmercifully kill you. Keep an eye on this basement. No visitors this time? No visitors. Nobody hiding in the other section? Oh, alright, cool. Well, we got part of our goal accomplished. So we brought back a book and some food, and chicken, some spam, some dried beans, and some minor other items. Alright, turn off the lighting. Need cooking 3 for that, do we? Alright, I think that gets us back to our starting setup. The gear is starting to get pretty hammered, though. We're about to lose the rucksack, the tack vest, and the tool belt. Because I haven't been able to take time to actually learn that stuff. What makes cockroaches so dangerous? Yeah, they're quick, and they don't fight the zombies, and I have no armor. I mean, even a cockroach is going to be able to bite through my limited clothing and break my leg. So, they're pretty bad at this stage with this character. If you haven't tried playing a fragile, glass-jawed, low-strength character, give it a go. You'll see why I freak out about certain things showing up at certain times. Because it can be very bad news. Yeah, it might be turn Z levels off and read for a while time. I think I've got enough additional food now where we can go a few days. Oh yeah, we got 2 of the cans of spam, so that's 12 things of spam at 180. 4 of the chicken at 400. We'll lose some weight if I go easy, but and then we've got the 20-something pine nuts, so we can get a few days of reading done. Unfortunately, that's not a lot. I burned through a lot of food trying to cram through all this book reading stuff. We're not quite done with our computer reading as well, so we're only at 2 more levels to go. We already got bandages on. Let's bandage up the other parts that took hits. Yeah, it's time to just read. So let's to save your and my sanity, we're going to turn off Z levels for a bit. And we're going to bail all the way out, back in again. Hopefully it doesn't mess up my mouse pointer. Alright, pointer's good. Back into Azkaban. Yeah, I don't do too many dodge builds. I usually kind of ride a middle ground between protection and having some dodge. Unless I'm building a really, really specific mutation chain build or something. I don't focus on just straight dodge too often. Yeah, I did the Naked and Unafraid run. That was fun. That was a good time. What were the rules on that one? I wasn't allowed to wear anything with encumbrance more than 3? Something like that? I forget. I had some rules on what would still qualify for naked. I was able to wear a few items. Didn't cover my body too much. Okay, so we're back in. Theoretically, Z levels are off. We should have some faster reading times. Let's find out. Computers. Well, no, it seems like Z levels are still on. If I'm hearing shock zombies and hearing this kind of stuff. I'm constantly having problems with that bullcrap. There's no way there's a shock zombie on this Z level. I've cleared this Z level other than like a blob room. It's gonna be funny when I walk back upstairs into the basement of that house and I instantly get shocked by a shock zombie. So yeah, I'm not convinced the Z level thing actually took, regardless of what it actually says. Oops. Current world. It says it's off. I don't believe it. We're gonna bail out again. That's why I dropped all the way out earlier. And I've had this problem before where it just, for whatever reason, it decides to ignore the setting. I've had to bail in and out a few times. Do a Life in the Woods run? You'll never see that! I really have no interest in doing an In a Woods run. It's too easy, it's too simple, it removes 90% of the game content, and for anybody knowledgeable about the game, it's just dead simple. I mean, you just have to know where things are at and which recipes to go for, and it's no problem. So, I can't do just an In a Woods run. It's just too boring. Pine Nut's OP? Pine Nut's not OP. You're crazy. Let's try again. Read. Still feels a little slow, but we'll go with it. I'm not saying somebody can't have fun with In a Woods. I'm not saying, I mean, Rykon has done a few In a Woods, and Rykon plays the game very differently than I do. He's much more into the storytelling, role-playing aspects, which can spice up an In a Woods run. But for a technical player like me, I know the game too well. I know all the recipes. I know where all the stuff is at. I know which things to go for. I know how to get them and where to get them. It has no interest for me. It's just way too simple and easy, and it removes too much of the gameplay for me to get any enjoyment. And if I'm not having fun with it, I can't I can't fake it well enough. I'm not good at that. So you're not gonna see that here, unfortunately. Go check out Rykon's In a Woods runs. He's great. Okay, that's one level down. Very hungry, huh? Well, let's have a marshmallow, a fruit leather, and an almond. Keep going. So when we get to 5, what are we doing? We're gonna go hack the computers here in the lab. When I say ignore, I mean ignore, damn it. We're gonna hack the computers in the lab to get the map and to get the subway route. We're gonna have to run back down to the subway station. See, look at that healing. We haven't slept. Look at that healing. We're going to max out our health just from the bandage and the disinfectant we put on while we're reading. The other very important thing. Don't assume that you only heal at night. That is not true. You can actually get really good healing during the daytime if you have time passing. So if you're about to do crafting or reading a book, slap on some bandages and some disinfectant. Hey, buddy. I hear you in here making noise. Okay, there we go. Computer's 5. And we're very hungry, very thirsty. Let's have some water. We'll let him have, what, a chocolate bar and the only pemmican? That's it for your eating today. Alright, so we have a turret down. We got a computer over here, but do we actually need the... Is it going to show me anything I don't already know? I think it might show me a little further into the town if we hack the computer here. That radius... I can't remember exactly how far the radius goes for the lab computer. We'll hack it anyway. It was in here, right? One of these. That one. Alright, don't shock me. Do not shock me. Oh, good. I'm not going to get shocked. Cool. Did it show me anymore? Hey, it did. Look at that. So previously we were right along here. So it actually had a wider radius than I had feared. So we got a pretty good look at the northern end of town here. We would most likely be approaching it from over this way. I was hoping for like an apartment tower right on the outside edge. Nice hunting store on the outside edge. We've already got our light amp goggles, but is that a pharmacy or a doc's office? Doc's office. Library? Library! There's the source of all books. Modern or current experimental version libraries. Just massive piles of books. I don't see any pharmacies in the north end here. Bookstore, no magic shops, no used bookstores, no antique stores, no museums. Oh, the fun stuff. Huh, that's a pretty boring northern section of town. Conversely, no fungus or anthills that I can see. Standard cabin and incomplete cabin. None of the magic cabins are on the map in the area. So yeah, Stormshaper continues to be stupidly elusive. Or magic of any kind. Alright, well, we're not going to worry about that. Now we need to go downstairs to the subway, which is next level down. I already cleared that barracks. Prisoner containment, auto dock, subway. Alright, so yeah, one more level down. We're gonna go get the subway route map, and we're gonna really, really hope hard that it links far enough north to show us the super lab. Alright, well, it's going north, but it's not going the right direction yet. It's nowhere near. Whoop, whoop, look at that. I think that's it right there. Yep, Central Train Depot. We have confirmation. We have confirmation that there is a super lab or central lab complex. I pretty much already knew that from us wandering around. And this, unfortunately, isn't really helping me too much identifying the center point. But if we use the midpoint of those and go straight up... So that's not where I was searching earlier. We had kind of wandered down and up through here and then came back across. So that's not far off the road in that area. We might have to make a trip back up there and kind of take a look around. Take a look in this area. Now, like I said, no guarantee that the railroads are centered in the lab. But that gives me hope that it's closer to the roadway. We didn't spot it when we were over there. But, yeah, it would still take quite a bit of effort for us to try to locate it. What can you find in them? Death. Lots and lots of death. They're massive. They're 10 levels deep. The first level is always the same, and then everything below that is randomized. And you can have upwards of, like, if you're lucky, I don't know, 7 or 8 finales if you clear the entire place. But there's a whole bunch of vertical columning in the way the maps generate, where you go down a stair and the stairs from there on go down into individual areas that don't connect to the rest of the floors on that same level. So you have to go all the way back up 5 floors, go find another stair down, and then go down again. Check with that area, then go all the way back up, then find another way down and go all the way down again. So there's a lot of vertical columning in the way the map seems to be set up. But I think you can have as few as 3 or 4 and as many as 7 or 8 finales, depending on how the thing generates. But there are other difficulties. It's 100% lit up, except for these very small static hallway sections. Otherwise, there's lights everywhere. All lights all the time. So you don't have areas where you can safely huddle in the dark and shoot things from safety and all that without smashing a million lights. So it's always lit up, and there's fun areas where you might find 20 or 30 shoggoths and other fun stuff like that. So it's an adventure. It's a lot, though. You're going to be in there for an extremely long time if you try to go in there and actually clear the place. How do you take care of turrets and stuff? You throw things around corners, you use smoke grenades, you use boxes to hide in and shoot, you use cloaks, you use all sorts of other stuff. You don't go into a central lab without being pretty well equipped or having a pretty good idea of how you're going to handle things. So, The lighting is just one of the things that's kind of different and makes the place harder. But the random setup of the maps and the depth and just how big they are, I mean, they're massive. I mean, you see this lab right here? A central lab complex, a single floor could be like this. They're just massive. So it takes a really long time to go through them. And 90% of what you're going through is the same as you see in any standard lab. So you're marching through the same room after room after room after room. I kind of lose my mind pretty quickly. I'm not a fan of that size of a structure in the game. I have the same issue with mansions. I have the same issue with the research facility. For the scale of the game, it's just too much put into certain areas, so not a fan. Alright, up again. Alright, so we got our confirmation, we got our computer skill up to 5. We don't have SICP, so I can't finish pushing this computer skill up. Would be nice. Computer's 5 will get me into libraries reliable. Might get me into barracks, but I don't know that I would risk it with a shock. I'd rather just pickaxe through the door anyway. For the barracks and the armory. You guys have seen me do it a million times. I've pretty much got the process down. Rarely have any problems. Except for the occasional surprise. But, yeah, so we've got that done. We still have not solved the needing tools for crafting mutagens, so I can do my bird mutations. And this is going to make the it's basically going to be mutate post-threshold bird and run. It's going to be the last thing I do. And we're going to have no magic at the time. So the whole Stormshaper thing is going to, again, fall by the wayside, like every other time I try to do the magic stuff. I don't think I'm going to be brave enough to try to install any CBMs, even though we found a few. Due to the imminent death chance for a failed install, just instantly killing me. I don't know where that goes. Couldn't tell you. It probably goes forever up north. So the question in chat was, where does this subway go? There's nothing but a lake above me. So this intersection here is right out in the middle of the lake. So I don't know how many Z levels water has, or if there's such a thing as labs underneath the water. I don't think there is. So I suspect these just keep going. We've hit a limit on how far the subway mapping thing will work. As you can see, these two end at the exact same point. So I suspect these just keep on going until you eventually hit land again. Yeah, it probably is a lab underneath this city. That would be my guess. There's a... actually, it might go to that lab right there. No, there wasn't a subway connection in that lab, I don't think. Yeah, that subway is 2 levels deeper than that bottom of that lab. So it goes right on underneath the lab we know about. So... yeah, there's probably a house with a basement over here that goes to a lab that connects to that. Same with the one over here. The one that goes straight north. It probably goes north a very long way. And who knows? I don't know where it goes. The imminent death thing? Well, what happens is, when you go to install a CBM, you have a failure chance. If you fail that, and then it rolls dice for what kind of effect you get from the failure, sometimes it just scrambles the CBM and you have to remend it and put it back in an autoclave pouch and all that kind of stuff. That's the lightest sentence. But if you, on that roll, if you critically fail that roll, you will take damage upwards of 80 points. It's random damage between 30 and 80, I believe. And 30 is 10 more than my max hit points. So, if I crit fail an install, for the simplest CBM, I could have a 90% chance of success, 10% chance of failure. I could just fall over dead instantly. So, that's why I'm extremely hesitant to try to do any CBMs on this character. It would just Just one random bad luck roll, and you're instantly dead. Why do I have such low hit points? It's Zizek's fault. It's all about Zizek. He was mean to me when he submitted the challenge. The particular reason is I have Strength 7, and I have the Fragile trait, and I have Glass Jaw. The Strength 7 only gets you like 80 hit points base, and then Fragile says, nope, let's take that 80 hit points and lop 75% of that off. Now you're down to 20. And then I've got Glass Jaw, which also lowers the head hit points even further. So that means this is my max. My head is at 16 health. That's the maximum it can possibly be. And 20 is the max on all my other body parts. So, yeah, it's just part of the fun of a fragile, glass jaw, low strength character. Pretty much anything can kill me really, really quickly. You know, like cockroaches and beavers, as we found out for Birdman 1. Yep, Hollow Bones does stack. It's going to get worse. I mentioned earlier that when I started mutating Bird, those numbers were going to get worse. So, Mouse and Bird. If you do Mouse and Bird mutation lines, you got to get used to the fact that you're not going to be able to carry much stuff. Now, that's Birdman 2, not Birdman 11. We're only on Birdman 2. We've managed to stay alive for 8 days so far on Birdman 2. We've had multiple extremely close calls where I was pretty unsure which way it was going to go. Alright, so what are we doing? We got almost all the healing done already. We are tired. I need to sleep. I'm not worried about the hit point regain now. Let's look at this one more time. So, the other reason I'm not real psyched about going to the central lab is I'm not convinced that it has the tools as loot, the mutation tools that I need to craft mutagens. So, I was hoping we'd get a good look at this city and I'd be able to make a decision about coming down here, but I'm not sure. It's just a hard challenge. There's layered difficulties here that are making this hard. The low carry capacity combined with not being able to use any kind of a vehicle, so I can't just stack stuff into a vehicle and drive around and keep all my gear with me. That's bad. That's hard. That's hard to deal with. So there's a number of things going on here. So it's taking non-bird mutation to serum to clear the fragile trait not allowed? Oh, it's allowed. It'd be no problem. The difficulty just is that I don't have robust genetics and I'd be rolling the dice in the other ways. So, I mean, we have some fun ones already. We've got Beast and Cattle. I mean, I know Cattle has the large versions. I don't remember what counters Fragile. What counters Fragile? I don't know which particular line would be most likely to counter the Fragile trait. Cattle sounds like one of them. Tough. Yeah, Tough cancels Fragile. But whatever has the tough stuff. I think Cattle probably does. Beast might. My big fear about Beast, though, is to... it's going to hand me Carnivore. And I really, really don't want to deal with Carnivore right now. Carnivore would be just so bad. Medical? Well, yeah, well. Medical is one of the rare ones. I'm not likely to come across that except for in finales. So, yeah, there are portions of these, especially without robust genetics, that scare me. They're going to make a bad thing even worse. Come on, screen. I assume that's the site you're talking about. It's mostly correct. There's one or two things in there that's not correct any longer, like the raising mechanics by repairing pipe method doesn't work anymore. But beyond that, it's still mostly correct. I don't know. Carnivore is fun in certain circumstances, but in this guy's circumstances, carnivore would be very bad. Cattle, I'm not sure cattle would be too bad. Let me look cattle up again. So for cattle, night vision, thick skin, disease resistant, all good. Furry, mammal pheromones, oh yeah, hooves. I fear hooves because I don't want to melee, so I don't care about the kick. And it would keep me from wearing rollerblades, which I really want to get back again. Ruminant horns, again, nice for damage, but I don't want to melee. Tail, ears, inconveniently large, freakishly huge, very strong. Very ponderous. Oh yeah, that's what it'll give me. It'll give me very ponderous and slow me down. There's no tough, though. I think you have to have tough for... Which one's the base? Inconveniently large, the one? Cancels little and tiny. Requires a bunch of the strength ones, so it's not that. Huh. I don't think cattle actually has one that's going to counter. Tough is one of the neutrals. Tough by itself is not actually directly in any of the categories. I know resilient will work, but that's a post threshold. Tough, durable, and unbreakable. What's got durable? Nothing? How can nothing have it? Must be a starting one. Alright. Well, I'm not sure. Not at the point where I'm gonna try to find out, right? Let's go ahead and sleep. So everything's maxed except for the left leg, which still has average. We should max or come close to maxing that. Let's just take a nap. What's up to you, zombie dog? Cruising through? Yeah? Max hit points. It's been a little while since we had max hit points. You guys think Beast is it, huh? I don't know. Definitely not in the trait-like, in the normal. No, there's nothing in normal either. I have to get post-threshold. I mean, yes, there's resilience. That's a few different categories have that, but that's post-threshold only. I don't think there is a early level counter to it. No. Spider doesn't have it either. So there may not be a counter for fragile unless you manage to get post-threshold. Or get it randomly through the tough, which is a neutral. So, I mean, it's possible to get it. I just can't get it through targeting a specific mutation chain without having to go all the way through the post-threshold, which we're only doing that on Bird, so there's no way for me to get rid of it. So it's just basically a random chance of picking up tough from as a neutral mutation. Yes, I'm aware it doesn't have to be specifically tough. You're not teaching me anything I don't know. The point is, pick one of those more advanced ones and tell me where it's at. That doesn't require a threshold. Don't just tell me you do it that way. Tell me which specific one you're seeing that is a possibility, and I'll go look and verify. I'm not seeing one. Not saying it's not there, but nobody's actually pointed to one yet that actually is going to do it.